Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, yes, continuing on with the review marathon of Star Wars, and that's right, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and as you probably can tell, yet Little Blue is not joining me, actually, because I did talk with him, because, you know, we both said, he said that, I should, it's like, kind of both of us, we were, saying that, probably that to put it this, we both came to this saying that, I should probably review the last 3 Star Wars films, and, and he also told me that, he agrees he knows and agrees with, what to say about the 3 films, and with me, he gives the last 3 Star Wars films, 2 thumbs up, just, if you get what I'm saying. So, that's the best I can remember of what we said. But, so that's right, so this and the last 2 coming up, it's just gonna be me. So, let's dive right into Revenge of the Sith. So, this takes place a couple of years after the events of Attack of the Clones, and literally after the Clone Wars series, and in the middle of the Clone Wars, like the last episodes of the Clone Wars, of the Seed of Mandalore. So, yeah. Anakin and Obi-Wan, they are put to the task, to go and rescue Chancellor Palpatine after being captured by Grievous, General Grievous, and that cool opening, oh man, I know Little Blue would talk about this, is like, just talking about that opening scene, with the battle, above, the space of Coruscant, it is epic, also because, the buzz droids, that, and when Anakin and Obi-Wan, they arrive, and we get the introduction of Grievous. When Revenge of the Sith came out, that's well, here's the thing. The Micro Clone Wars series, as we all know, the 2D one, that's where Grievous first appeared. And we get the appearance of him in live action, of course, in Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. So, yeah, Grievous is awesome in this, and, we get the appearance of Dooku, a little lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku. And yeah, I think Christopher Lee, he only had, he had four lines in this, actually. He had 4 lines. I remember, your swords, please. We don't want to make a mess of things in front of the Chancellor. I've been looking forward to this. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall, and, sense great fear in you, Skywalker. You have hate, you have anger, but you don't use them, He had another line, which was actually cut. I discovered it's actually in the video game of Revenge of the Sith when it came out. He goes on, after he ignites his lightsaber, he says, just because the 2 of you does not assume you have the advantage. Yeah, so that was cut, but it found its way in the video game, so, also, because let me see, yeah, Anakin cutting Dooku's arms off, yeah, and Palpatine telling Anakin to, kill him as, because, and you see the look on Dooku's face, and because Palpatine, he's through with Dooku, so, and so Anakin does kill him, Anakin's like, I shouldn't, and Palpatine's like, do it, and literally cuts his head off, and, bit of dialogue between Palpatine and Anakin saying, he was an unarmed prisoner, I shouldn't have done it, it's not the Jedi way, and, Palpatine's like, it is only natural, he cut off your arm, you wanted revenge, Remember what you told me about your mother and the Sun People? And so, because and during that fight, Dooku had Obi-Wan unconscious, Anakin is carrying him on his back, and R2 in the hangar bay, because activating doors, that kind of stuff. And there's one part with the General Grievous' ship kind of goes down, something goes wrong with it. Reverse stabilizers and, fire the emergency booster engines. And that scene where Palpatine, Anakin, Obi-Wan, when the ship comes back to its normal, they're stuck on the elevator, and the elevator comes down. R2 shut down the elevator. Too late, jump! Just, yeah, pretty cool scene and funny, when you think about it. And some of the lines in this film, especially from Obi-Wan, some lines from Obi-Wan that are funny, and as well as, say, the funny, Anakin and Obi-Wan's funny moments, they're pretty good, too. Little Blue would agree on that, too. Like Obi-Wan, I remember, because, oh, this is going to be easy, I'm trying to remember, wait a minute, how did this happen? We're smarter than this. And also that scene where, and actually, because it's established in Revenge of the Sith, this is where General Grievous and Anakin Skywalker first meet. And, man, it's hard to believe, because not even for once they didn't, and that couldn't happen in the Clone Wars series. Anakin and Grievous, they never met up until Revenge of the Sith. I think, if I remember correctly, in the behind the scenes, even Dave Filoni was struggling and keeping himself not to have Grievous and Anakin, fight or anything, and I can understand that would have been epic, but that's in the video games, that can happen. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame because that's because literally Revenge of the Sith, that's where they first meet. Well, I think it was all because of George Lucas, and actually, speaking of which, because not only does Matthew Wood voice General Grievous, George Lucas does the coughing sounds, of Grievous. That's George doing that, so that's cool. Never knew that. And, even in the Clone Wars series, Matthew Wood, he does the coughs, you can tell it's him. Also, I'm trying to remember, Grievous escapes, and, he literally breaks the window, and, you lose, General Kenobi, breaks the window and such with one of his guards' weapons. I forget what they're called, but, also, some parts in that scene would be seen in The Bad Batch, Episode 1, The Aftermath, the opening scene with the narrator, which that was really cool. Seeing a bit of Revenge of the Sith in the style of Clone Wars. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, and Grievous escapes, and, Anakin and Obi-Wan, they fly the ship and crashes down in Coruscant, and, Anakin and Obi-Wan go, Anakin says, we lost something, and Obi-Wan's like, not to worry, we are still flying half a ship, And, of course, Palpatine is rescued and such, and the one line from Obi-Wan, that's pretty good, too, and, everybody loves to quote or something, another happy landing, of course. And of course, Anakin and Padme are reunited after so long, in which we also see in the Clone Wars when, in Season 7, in the arc of the Bad Batch, Anakin recontacts Padme. And, Padme tells Anakin that, it's a pretty good scene, that she's pregnant. Yep, and, quite a bit of a shock for Anakin, and he's like, that's wonderful, we're gonna, this baby is a blessing, And we then see Grievous arriving at Utapau, he contacts Palpatine, and, and also mentioning Mustafar, moving the Separatists to Mustafar, and mentioning Dooku, and Palpatine saying, soon I will have a new apprentice, one that is strong and more powerful. And, another scene with Anakin and Padme. Now, some people would kind of cringe over that, but somebody commented on that scene. I can't remember, but I was watching that scene on YouTube, and I saw one commenter really establishing, the way they're talking and such. And boy, he's got a point, because, because the way they're talking and such, that could happen to some people. It's really hard for me to explain, but just, thought I'd mention it. And of course, those parts were, in those scenes where Anakin, he fears, he has nightmares that Padme dying from childbirth, and saying that he won't let those happen. And, he talks with Yoda, and, Yoda gives him advice, train yourself to let go of the ones you fear to lose, or whatever he says. And of course, with the rest of the film, Yoda, he goes to Kashyyyk, the droid, and as Ki-Adi-Mundi, which that became a meme when we have Ki-Adi-Mundi saying, what about the droid attack on the Wookiees? How did that become a meme? You would tell me that. Just, God. Anything's possible being a meme. What's next? What's next? I'm trying to think of a good one. I don't know. The Wookiees doing the Tarzan yell? I don't know. Just something. Anything's possible, becoming a meme. And so, because the Wookiees doing that Tarzan yell. Well, Chewbacca did that in Return of the Jedi when he was swinging with the Ewoks to the AT-AT, or the Walker, that is, even if you turn the subtitles on, it will show, it will say Tarzan yell. And one last scene with Anakin and Obi-Wan where they talk and such. before they would meet again when Anakin is no longer Anakin, is now Darth Vader. So the last words they give to them, Obi-Wan, may the Force be with you. Goodbye, old friend, and may the Force be with you. And that's it. That's it. The last time they'd see each other before things would change. Yep. I wonder if the music even kind of establishes it, like kind of almost gives you the feel. Maybe so, I don't know. Obi-Wan, he makes his way to Utapau, and let me tell you something, like, I established it pretty good in me and Lil Blue's review of Attack of the Clones. What people don't realize, when those films came out, they criticized, like, they're being criticized for, like, say, too much CG, but you gotta remember, it had models to it. It did. Like, part of Coruscant, Tatooine, Geonosius, especially the Geonosian areal, that was a model. And for Revenge of the Sith, Utapau was a model. It was. Like, some shots with it was a model. It definitely was. Star Wars is very true not to leave out doing models, you know what I'm saying? Especially Mustafar. Part of Mustafar is a model as well. Yeah, just Lucasfilm and Industrial Light's magics, they get to you instantly. Just, yeah, and that Utapau battle and such with Obi-Wan versus Grievous was pretty good too. Palpatine revealing himself to Anakin that he's the Sith Lord, and the death of Grievous, pretty good too. And those parts, Grievous and Obi-Wan grunting, just, and Obi-Wan throughout the prequel trilogy, he, like, makes noises a lot of grunting, just, well, it's Obi-Wan and it's Ewan McGregor. I think it really adds to Obi-Wan, There's even, I think, a couple of YouTube videos, compilations of Obi-Wan making those noises, Also, let me see. Yeah, and, like, that sequence, well, after Anakin tells Mace Windu that Palpatine is the Sith Lord, Anakin is back at the Jedi Temple. He hears Palpatine saying, if the Jedi destroy me, chances of saving your wife. I forget what he says. And that scene where Anakin looks out through the Jedi Temple window, Palpatine looking through her apartment, that music playing in that choir, such a powerful scene right there. Don't you think? It just, wow. Things are going to turn out so bad, and just, it. And, of course, Anakin goes out to, like, catch up with the Jedi or just something. Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, and the other two Jedi, they're about to arrest Palpatine. Palpatine just goes berserk. He unleashes his lightsaber. He kills the first two Jedi. Then he kills Kit Fisto, and then a lightsaber duel between Windu and Palpatine. Palpatine is doing Windu is doing pretty good, like, fighting Palpatine. But, of course, when Anakin comes in, Windu is this close to killing Palpatine. Palpatine unleashes the Force Lightning, Windu with his lightsaber. It hits his face, Palpatine, and creates the face that we know of Palpatine. Anakin saves Palpatine by cutting off Windu's arm. Palpatine, like, unleashes his Force Lightning on Windu. Unlimited power! Sends him flying off the window, and we don't know for sure if Windu got killed. There's a very good chance. Even Samuel Jackson thinks that Windu is still alive. It would be great to see him still be alive and, just come back at some point. Maybe in Kenobi, who knows? But anyway, so, let me see, what else? Yeah, and Anakin, he's literally totally blind. He turns to the dark side. He follows Palpatine's orders, do what must be done. Order 66 happens. Yep, that montage of Order 66. Yoda can feel it and such as he drops his cane. Yeah, all the Jedi being killed. Yoda, when the two clone troopers approach Yoda, he, like, flips and, like, he slices their heads off. Then that scene where the younglings are about to be killed by Anakin. I actually read this. The kid who played that one Jedi youngling who said, Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do? According to him, Hayden Christensen, to get that reaction, like, as he ignites his lightsaber and, that Jedi youngling, like, kind of does that, According to him, Hayden Christensen had to shout, boo, just to get that reaction. And, yeah, that's apparently what happened. Stuff like that could happen, to try to do something, to get that feel or just, like, something like that. And so, and with Bail Organa, because forgot to mention Bail Organa, because his first appearance in Attack of the Clones and in this, Like, he rescues and joins up with Yoda and Obi-Wan, and they go back to Coruscant. Obi-Wan and Yoda, they get inside the temple, like, to send a message to all the surviving Jedi to stay away from the temple, and Yoda going, for the clones to discover the recalibrated message, however he says it, a long time it will take. And Anakin being sent to Mustafar to kill the Separatists, yeah, because Palpatine's through with the Separatists, now comes in the Galactic Empire, and as Palpatine gives his speech at the Galactic Senate, yep, and with Padme, so this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. And Obi-Wan discovers that it was Anakin. Obi-Wan tells Padme about this, and one last line that Obi-Wan gives to Padme, Anakin is the father, isn't he? I'm so sorry. And we cut back to Mustafar, and with Anakin, there's a tear duct, because last bit of good in him, the last bit of Anakin is shown before he goes full Darth Vader. Darth Vader now steps in. No more of Anakin. Padme, she goes to find and, to help Anakin and such. A bit of dialogue between Padme and Anakin. I had no problem, because, people cringe of that, too, of how they talk, and especially Padme. Anakin, you're breaking my heart. Come on, it's just, this is happening too quick for Padme, and just the way she's doing it, her emotions, that kind of stuff. And Anakin, Padme's like, I love you, and when he sees Obi-Wan, just like, liar! You're with him! You brought him here to kill me! And he chokes Padme. Obi-Wan, let her go, Anakin, and just, you turned her against me, you have done that yourself, you will not take her from me. Pretty good dialogue between both of them, and of course, the infamous lightsaber duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan, and with that music of John Williams, yeah, and also, not just that, but cutting to the lightsaber duel between Palpatine and Yoda, pretty cool too. Both Palpatine and Yoda, they're very strong with the Force, so difficult for each one of them to kill each other, so cutting back to them and Anakin and Obi-Wan, pretty cool, and a bit of the Duel of the Fates from Phantom Menace reprised in this with Yoda and Palpatine, and I think even the behind the scenes of the Phantom Menace, George was talking to John Williams, it'll work well, it'll go well in episode 3, it just, but yeah, and of course, when Obi-Wan defeats Anakin, he cuts off his legs and his arm, and you are the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Just good dialogue, and, Anakin going, I hate you! You were my brother, Anakin, I loved you! And Anakin gets burned, and I think, Little Blue even said this a couple times, I think especially in our review of A New Hope, that he was concerned, about, my mom was concerned that, how I would react to that, and I forget, but Little Blue established it pretty good in our review of A New Hope. Go check it out, so Obi-Wan leaves him, and Obi-Wan thought that he defeated Anakin, that he was going to die, and Obi-Wan, 3PO, R2, and Padme, they go to where Bail Organa and Yoda is, and that's another thing, because Bail Organa, he picks up Yoda, and to exile I must go, as Yoda says. Failed I have. Yeah, and Yoda did fail. He didn't defeat the Emperor, so, I think that was the first time in Yoda's life that he failed, Yeah, and that's Yoda, so, And actually, right before Bail Organa comes to Yoda, excuse me, Master Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi's made contact, there was actually, I wish this would have been in the film, because Yoda reaching out to Qui-Gon, and Liam Neeson was supposed to reprise his role voicing Qui-Gon, and that would have been so good, and just, some of the dialogue that Qui-Gon says, you will become more powerful than any Jedi could imagine, that would have been great, and to hear Liam Neeson voice Qui-Gon, But of course, Qui-Gon still be mentioning, which we'll get to in a sec. Anakin rescued by Palpatine, and Anakin turning into the man in the suit, Darth Vader. Yep, and Padme, she gives birth to Luke and Leia, and after that, one last words she gives to Obi-Wan saying that about Anakin, there's good in him, and there still is, but it's just, hidden in Anakin really well, in Darth Vader's, you know what I'm saying? Also, and Padme dies, and then, Anakin, when Darth Vader's born and such, he says to Palpatine, "Where's Padme?" And Palpatine tells him, "It seems in your anger, you've killed her. I couldn't have. She was alive. I felt it." And everybody talking about that, of Darth Vader going, "No!" Well, it's kind of important, and because, he lost the love of his life, Padme, and just everything, and just, you get the idea. So, and of course, the sequence with Obi-Wan, Bail Organa, and Yoda, talking about where Luke and Padme should be. Bail Organa and his wife will take Leia, because they've always talked of adopting a baby girl. She will be loved with us, as Bail Organa says. And for Luke, Yoda says, to Tatooine, to his family sent him. And Obi-Wan, he says, "I will take the child and watch over him." And Yoda, "Until the time is right, just disappear, we will." And Yoda saying to Obi-Wan, "An old friend who has reached out from another realm of the Force," or something like that. And the last words from Obi-Wan that he says, "Qui-Gon," because Qui-Gon, and with Yoda saying, "How to commune with him, I will teach you." And yeah, so, and thus, Bail Organa also tells Captain Antilles to, that he places 3PO and R2 in his care, tells them to treat them well, and have protocol droids mind wiped. And, 3PO's like, "What?" And I think R2, he kind of laughs. I think he does. Yeah, he laughs, and 3PO has the last line of the film, "Oh, no." And that's it. And thus, 3PO, he gets the first line of A New Hope. So, yeah. Very nice little detail there. It makes sense, 3PO got the first word, the first line of the first Star Wars film, and at the time got the last line of the last Star Wars film at that time, and the funeral of Padme's funeral, and one last scene with Vader, Tarkin, and Palpatine, and we see out through the windows of the Star Destroyer, the Death Star being constructed, and we see Leia and Luke going to their families and such. Bail Organa and his wife, and Padme. I know Lil Blue would say this too, because the baby who played baby Leia, just like beautiful, like pretty face, with the eyes, And of course, Obi-Wan on Tatooine, and with Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. Yep, and that's where it ends. And with Owen and Beru out looking straight out the twin suns, and boom, it ends. And actually, I remember there was supposed to be a scene where this was supposed to be in the film, but it was a deleted scene. Yoda arriving on Dagobah, and even Rick, the producer of the prequels, Rick McCallum, if I'm saying him right, he talked about in the introduction of the deleted scene that he was heartbroken that it was not put in the film, and he begged George to do it, but he understood why George didn't do it, because the threat of the children, that kind of stuff. And and as George says, we know where he ends up. Of course we know where he ends up, but it's a really good shot. And yeah, Rick McCallum was right, because it's a beautiful shot, and it's pretty good. It would have fit really well, like maybe say between when we see Leia and Luke they're going to their families. That would have fit pretty good. But overall, Revenge of the Sith, it's such a great film, and for being the final installment of the prequel trilogy, and at the time, the last Star Wars film. And it wouldn't be until, besides the Clone Wars, or the Clone Wars movie, it wouldn't be until 10 years later we would get the return of Star Wars being on the big screen, which that's next. And with how I rate Revenge of the Sith, oh heck, I give it 10 out of 10. I know Lil Blue would give this 10 out of 10 too. And you guys let me know what you think of Revenge of the Sith. If you enjoy it, leave comments as always. And again, I give this 10 out of 10, and that's right, stay tuned for The Force Awakens, Episode 7. So, with that being said, hope you enjoyed my review of Revenge of the Sith. Again, 10 out of 10, leave comments as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review video. Take care, and peace out, and may the Force be with you.